I mentioned what a lively place this promenade is. Well, I don't know, maybe we should get Bailey the Bookman on some stilts. Okay, listen, I had rum for lunch. Go to Cuba, they said. It's fun in Cuba. The weather's great. It's sunny and warm. And look at the beaches. Yeah, it's all great. Oh my gosh. We've had a little squall roll through the island here this afternoon, and it's instead of laying on the beach and drinking, we're just going to take our Brandy Alexander's inside today. This is more like the Cuba we had anticipated when we booked this trip. So the CFO and I are going to have another hard day here on the beach, soaking up the sun. It's not even 10 a.m. and it's well above 20 degrees Celsius. So here we are. We're gonna have another hard day, and we'd love to chat more, but we have a meeting we have to get. This is a lovely little shop that's just down the road from where we're staying here. In Cuba. Very nice folks, and they have all sorts of interesting things here. And as it turns out, they have a head of security here as well, pirata or pirate in Cuban. So you can see this is obviously this Dixie's spirit brother. Pirata! Pirata! That's so awesome, the way they just ride those thermals and float and circle like all day long. Not sure if you can hear that, but over here at the fitness center, there's a flock of yogites with their annual morning ritual. Very idyllic here in Cuba. Beautiful beaches. You can see it's where we are here, but 45 minutes away from Havana. It's very quiet. Just the way we like it. Lots of relaxing, napping, eating, the odd rum here and there, and then, repeat. Well, I'm in a bit of a dilemma here in Paradise. I pretty much blown through the 3 books I brought to read, and we're only halfway done. Right now, I'm reading John Dunning, The Bookwoman's Last Fling. Excellent book. He's, of course, one of my favorite biblio authors. But we are going into Havana tomorrow for a little day trip. And before we left home, I scoped it out to see if there was any English language bookstores, and there is one. It's called Cuba Libro. So we're going to see if we can find it. Go in and have a look around, meet the owners, and see what it's like owning a bookstore in Havana. And maybe I can find a book that'll get me through to the end. Well, it's about 6 p.m. here in Cuba. And one of the neat things about the place we come to here is that every night you can go have dinner at a different restaurant. And I get to go with the beautiful CFO. Good evening.
Hello.
And so you can go to international evening, which is kind of fine dining, or you can go to the Italian one. Tonight, we are going to Cuban restaurant, which is right here. It's beautifully set up, and look, yeah, It's right here on the edge of the ocean. I don't know if you can see that cloud dead center underneath it. There's a beautiful rainbow. It's like, oh my goodness, life is so good. We're so happy to be here. We were supposed to be heading into Havana today, but we've had a little issue with our car, so we're going to go tomorrow morning. And of course, the clouds have moved in. There's a little bit of a rainstorm coming in today, so our plans for Havana are on hold. So what do you do on a day like today when it's kind of overcast and a little bit cool at 24 degrees? Well, you get the CFO to download you another another John Dunning book, and so we can sit on the balcony and have a rum and read another great book by John Dunning. Now this is what the ocean looks like when the wind gets up a little bit on our overcast day. Being a prairie boy, I don't often get to see the ocean like this. Well, anyway, shape or form. But yeah, I'm glad I'm here and not out there. Of course, being in Cuba kind of makes you think about Hemingway and The Old Man and the Sea. Hopefully tomorrow we are going to sit and have a drink. Hemingway's bar at Havana. Okay, the stars have aligned and we are just entering Havana with our friend Dorio. Very excellent driver and guide that's going to show us around Havana, and hopefully we'll see some really cool bookstores and some history and some lunch, and CFO's with us, of course. So let's get into Havana and we'll have a look around and see if we can find some books. Where does what's this tunnel go under, Dorio?
This tunnel is under the Havana Bay.
Havana Bay.
This tunnel was built in 1954, from 1954 to 1958 by the French company. We are passing under. Yes, this is all Havana. This is all Havana. We have some monuments, the generals of the independence. And in Havana, we make a new best. We have a new hotels, a new building. This is new one. This is new 5-star hotel. And this building in front of us, this is the Spanish embassy. One of the most important embassies in Cuba. Because many people want to go to Spain. We have many relatives over there. This is the Spanish embassy. And this is a new hotel. It was incredible. They make it very fast.
Beautiful.
In just 3-4 years, they make it. This is Paseo. Yeah, this is gold. You know who paid that? Vladimir Putin, the Russian. We will pass over there. In this area, we have more than 25 hotels. We have Paca, Paseo del Prado. Here we have the hotel. This, the pink. This is Sevilla Hotel. This is one of the hotels founded by the American Mafia. There, this one. This is Sevilla Hotel.
I think that's where
Sevilla Telegrafo Plaza Hotel. And this is all Havana, but not the colonial city. Colonial city is downstairs. This is all Havana, but into the old Havana is modern Havana. We are in El Prado. It's a beautiful hotels everywhere. In front of us, we have Telegrafo Hotel. And now we go to a little bit. You can walk later here. It's very easy. It's very simple. We are very close to the Havana downtown. This is the downtown of the old Havana. Look, this is another 5-star hotel. We have Plaza Hotel over here. This is the Central Park. That side we have hotel. This is Inglaterra Hotel that side. And this beautiful building over there is the classical Cuban ballet theater. Classical Cuban ballet theater. And this is the famous Havana Capitol. Havana Capitol has been restored almost 100%. And we will put the parliament. We will come back here again. Because the Capitol was built in 1929. I'm very proud because my grandfather worked in the construction of this building. Yes, in the 20s. And the Parliament at the beginning was here, but not anymore. This building is Saratoga Hotel. It's a 5-star hotel where the celebrities came to Cuba. Most of them, like Beyoncé.
Well, Dario's expert navigation, we did find.
No, mi mujer, no se habla, yo hablo con mi mujer ahora mismo.
Unfortunately, they're closed
No, mi mujer está
until
en la casa durmiendo.
March the
¿Qué fue lo que
3rd.
pasó? Una mujer que fue más lío ahí.
He has another book shop that he's going to take us to, and we will have a look there. So what, is this a particular bay or?
This is Havana Bay.
Havana Bay.
Havana Bay, and this is the lighthouse. The guide the ships that entering.
And what street are we on?
We are in Malecon. This is Malecon, one of the most famous avenues in Havana. Malecon. Malecon is road today.
Ah,
You see, there are so many waves. But we have hurricanes, but we have storms, we have sea penetration, and all this area is under the water.
it's a bit rough today out there.
It's rough, yes.
Another good reason not to be a sailor.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go a little touristy on you here. This is Cathedral Square. At one point in history, these were homes. The richest people in Havana lived here. And there, of course, is the cathedral, Baroque style. I don't know if you can make out the enormous bells up in the tower there. Just beautiful. The architecture here goes back to 17th century. This is a home at one point as well. There's the CFO. I got you. And this is a museum here behind us now. Well, after a very awesome car tour of parts of Havana we hadn't seen before, we have found a spot here where there are some book stalls, and we're going to go look through all of these and see what we can find. Very excited. Lots of old bindings, some familiar authors. However, they're all in Spanish, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking at. Yeah. See, lots of nice old bindings. All sorts of interesting titles and knickknacks and things, and all of the sellers here are very friendly, very knowledgeable, and like I said, there's racks and racks of old bindings, and it's interesting to see the titles in Spanish. I wish my understanding of Spanish was better. I might find something here that was, kind of interesting for a bookseller. We're almost through. We're going to finish looking through here, and then there might be another one down the road. We'll have to see. Well, lots of great stuff in the little book market back there, but nothing that we could really take home. And again, I'm not sure exactly what a lot of those books are about. Oh, here's head of security. So these puppies are they're not wild, but they don't really have a home, but they have these tags you can see on them, and it means that they are taken care of. folks around here will take care of the puppies that live here on the streets. So the pink building right dead ahead of us is Hemingway's hotel. We're going to make our way down there and go up to the room. Well, here we are inside the hotel. It's a beautiful hotel.
Yeah. This hotel is from 1924.
1924?
Yeah, 95 years old.
Yes. Oh, beautiful.
And Hemingway room is more or less the same. More or less.
Oh, I see.
Because here inside change the bathroom and the bed. Because many people rent this room. Always was a bed. So this is a room where Hemingway used to combat for 11 years, from 1928 until 1939. He back and forth, not all the time. When he combat, he got this room because of the view. And then he wrote here these 3 books. Death in the Afternoon, Rain, Hell, Africa, and To Have and Have Not. In 1939, he moved to the house, think of it here, outside from Havana. And we brought from the house all these personal belonging to him. Every year we change the exhibit, the information, and right now it's about the art collector. That's why you can see here many paintings. But this painting didn't mean he had original thing. He had only reproduction. But anyway, all of them were important for Hemingway because all of them were inspiration for Hemingway. And he left all this copy inside the bungalow and nobody can see now because the bungalow is closed for restoration. So this is actually typewriter, original desk. These days, long time ago, you can print up and down because he used to be typing standing up. In the World War I, he was wounded in the knee and he can see for a long time.
Right. Excellent.
The view is amazing. And this portrait was made when he was young. He was 29 years old by American painter Waldo Pierce. The original is in the Kennedy Library in Boston. Like many paintings that Hemingway wrote.
Oh, yes, look at the view. Oh, look, there's the old fort across the way.
Wow.
That's where we were just down that way. Okay, we're going to, after seeing Hemingway's room, that was pretty cool, we're going to head upstairs. There's a little restaurant and bar, and I think we might just go up there and have a drink and talk about the Old Man and the Sea or something. And here's the elevator that we came up in. And it's the, there you go. It's closed, yeah. They have an operator.
Yes, we go.
Nice view.
Thank you.
And away they go. One flight up the stairs, and here we are under the rooftop bar. Here's Havana. The architecture here is amazing. It's a real mixture. Some of it's extremely old. Some of it shows its age pretty well. But it's all it's quite beautiful. So we're going to go over here and see if we can find something to drink. Well, we've taken the staircase down from upstairs, and it's weird, you know. You think, gosh, did Hemingway actually, you know, touch this banister, walk on these steps? Well, there's the shot of the lobby of the hotel, built in 1925, and. Hey Jordan, I wish you were here. I think you might like this. Well, Obispo Street Promenade here in Havana is a very, very busy place. You can see lots of folks that want to come and take in the sights and the sounds. And right behind us here is another bookstore. So we're going to go in there and have a look and see what we see. Well, this is a beautiful store. You can see, love the furniture, look at that. But you know what, it's kind of like a Chapters or an Indigo. So all kind of newer titles, lots of paperbacks, you know, not usually the sorts of stuff that we're looking for at Bailey Books. So back onto Obispo Street and we'll see what comes up next. I think I mentioned what a lively place this promenade is. Well, I don't know, maybe we should get Bailey the Bookman on some stilts. Okay, listen, I had rum for lunch. We don't often treat ourselves to a place like El Floridita Hotel, but I think today we will. It's just beautiful. It's, in a way, coming to Havana is kind of taking a step back in time. It's just beautiful. So we're going to sit and have a beer and relax for a few minutes and then back outside, see what we can find. Well, after a morning of driving and walking around old Havana, taking in all sorts of interesting sights and sounds and having a rum or 12, we find ourselves back in front of the Hotel Ambos Mundos, of course, the hotel that Ernest Hemingway stayed at. And we had a great time here this morning in Havana, and we are now ready to head back to the resort and just put our feet up for a little while. Of course, there's an enormous Spanish influence here in Cuba, as the Spaniards were the first to come to this island, not the last. But you may recognize this gentleman behind me, often credited with inventing the novel, Miguel de Cervantes Savarte, Man of La Mancha, you know, all those guys. Anyways, they've got a really nice line of statues here of various literary heroes from the past. But Cervantes, yeah, who wouldn't want a first edition of that? Well, here we are at the airport at Veradero, and it is time for us to bid adios to Cuba and thank her for the hospitality and all the wonderful people that made our trip here so wonderful. It was a great time, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
Yeah, so that's it for this international episode. Bailey the Bookman, we'll see you on the next one.